So my passion is women, and the reason that I feel called to women is that about 16 years ago, we had a crisis in our family, and some things were going on for us, and I was just miserable. I was miserable, depressed, miserable, but I was also miserable in my marriage, and probably for no reason besides I was just miserable. And at that time, I had a good friend and a mentor who had discipled me, and she gave me a book called Me Obey Him. Well, she gave me this book. I read it cover to cover, told my husband that I would do this, and we felt a blessing instantly. We just felt something happen. And for about 6 months, though, I started trying to practice the biblical principles of marriage, and I wasn't seeing the results at first. I mean, for 6 months, I just cried, and I went to God, and I said, look, God, this isn't working. I'm trying, but I don't really see anything happening. And then all of a sudden something happened. I'm not sure what happened, but something happened and things changed. And the way my husband and I describe it now, it's like we're tripping over each other. I'm serving him and he's pulling out my chair, and I'm fixing his food, and he's holding the car door, and just all of a sudden we're both trying to serve each other like Christ loves the church. And it was just an amazing thing. In the meantime, I started sharing with women everywhere what I was learning and what God was doing. And then I would see not only was it working in my life, it was working in other ladies' lives too. And so then that was exciting because I was glad it was happening with me, but it was happening with other people. So once that started happening, I volunteered. First Things First is coming up again, but I volunteered at First Things First and Covenant Keepers because I would get in with anybody who was working on marriage. So anywhere marriage was going on in the city, people would give me the names of people. And so Covenant Keepers Ministry is one of the ministries that I work with, as well as First Things First, and I spent a lot of time with both. And while I was sitting at First Things First, literally, God told me that I needed to go and be a counselor. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know where to go, and my girlfriend told me which school to go to, and I went to a local school. I wound up going to PSI, which is Richmond, and I went in saying that I came to do what God called me to do and teach women about marriage. And I said that about every time I gave a presentation about what it is that I was called to do, and it was just amazing how God used the place to train me and get me ready for what I do now at Sound Living. In addition to the marriage work, He also equipped me to work with adolescents, which I didn't know that I would be as fond of. Although I had 3 teenagers at home at the time, I didn't realize I would be so excited about working with adolescents. But I really love the guys and the girls, and we do a lot of work in here, helping them to grow and to become what God has called them to be. A lot of times they're gifted and talented kids are writing books, they're in plays, they just have a lot of gifts, and I help to kind of help them to bring those out. Sometimes there are conflicts with families. I help the families to talk with each other, help them to communicate. Sometimes kids just want to be heard.